Dr. Elena Santos stood at the observation window of the Lunar Quantum Research Facility, her dark eyes fixed on the shimmering field suspended in the test chamber below. The gravitational anomaly hung in space like a soap bubble made of starlight, defying everything humanity had previously understood about the fundamental forces of the universe. "Run the sequence again," she commanded, her voice steady despite the excitement threatening to burst from her chest. Behind her, a team of scientists and engineers worked at their stations, their fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. The anomaly pulsed, contracted, and then expanded in perfect synchronization with their input. This wasn't just another experiment. It was the culmination of 15 years of work, a theory that had earned her ridicule from half the scientific community and cautious skepticism from the other half. Until now. A proximity alert shattered the focused silence of the laboratory. Red warning lights bathed the sterile white walls in crimson. Dr. Marcus Chen, Elena's second-in-command, pulled up the emergency broadcast on the main display. The images streaming in from the outer solar system made Elena's blood run cold. A massive object had just emerged from what appeared to be a tear in space itself, its surface a nightmarish geometric pattern that seemed to shift and change even as they watched. Initial readings suggested it was larger than Earth's moon. "It's not alone," Marcus whispered, enhancing the feed. Behind the first object, more tiers were forming in space, more vessels were emerging. Elena's quantum communications implant chimed with an incoming priority message from Earth Defense Command. She accepted the call, and Admiral Sarah Chen's holographic form materialized in the lab. "Dr. Santos," the Admiral's voice was grim. "I trust you're seeing this." "Yes," Elena replied, her mind already racing through calculations and possibilities. "Any response to our attempts at communication?" "None, but they're moving with purpose. Their trajectory suggests they'll reach Mars orbit within 48 hours. The Admiral paused, her holographic form flickering slightly. "Elena, I need to know. The rumors about your project, about what you've achieved with quantum gravitational manipulation, are they true?" Elena glanced at the test chamber below, where the anomaly still shimmered, stable and controlled. "It's more than that, Sarah. We've not only managed to manipulate gravity at a quantum level, we've found a way to create localized pockets of space where we can control the very fabric of reality itself. The mathematics suggest we could theoretically apply this to a ship." The Admiral interrupted, her eyes sharp with sudden interest. "Yes," Elena nodded. "But we're years away from practical applications. The power requirements alone would be—" "You have 48 hours." Elena felt her jaw drop. "Sarah, that's impossible. We haven't even tested this beyond the laboratory scale. The risks. Look at your screens, Elena." Admiral Chen's voice was steel-wrapped in silk. "Those objects out there. Our long-range scans show they're composed of materials we can't even identify. They're ignoring all attempts at communication, and they're heading straight for us. Whatever they are, they represent technology far beyond anything humanity has ever encountered. We need every advantage we can get, no matter how experimental." The weight of the moment pressed down on Elena's shoulders. She looked at her team, saw the same mix of fear and determination in their eyes that she felt in her heart. "The HSS Hyperion is en route to your facility," the Admiral continued. "It's our newest capital ship, straight out of the Ganymede shipyards. You'll have full access to its systems and crew. I'm also sending you everything we have on the incoming objects." Elena took a deep breath, her mind already beginning to formulate the modifications they'd need to make, the theoretical problems they'd need to solve. "Sarah, even if we somehow manage this, even if we can scale up our technology and integrate it into the Hyperion systems, we have no idea how it will behave in actual combat conditions. Then we'll find out together." Admiral Chen's hologram smiled grimly. "Because right now, Elena, your impossible project might be humanity's only hope of surviving whatever's coming our way." As the Admiral's hologram faded, Elena turned back to the test chamber. The quantum anomaly still hung there, beautiful and impossible, a testament to humanity's ability to push the boundaries of what was possible. Now they needed to push those boundaries further than ever before. "Marcus," she called out, her voice carrying the weight of command. "Begin shutdown procedures on the current test. Download all our data to secure storage. The rest of you, I need preliminary calculations for scaling this up to ship size within the hour." She paused, looking each member of her team in the eye. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. It might not even be possible. But right now, we're the only ones who might be able to give humanity a fighting chance. As her team burst into action around her, Elena's mind was already racing through equations and possibilities. They had 48 hours to do the impossible. But then again, she thought, looking at the shimmering quantum anomaly, they'd already done that once. Maybe they could do it again. In the depths of space, the mysterious objects continued their inexorable approach, their shifting geometric patterns casting strange shadows across the void. Humanity's greatest challenge was approaching, and with it, the true test of whether their understanding of the universe's deepest mysteries could save them from what lurked in the darkness between the stars. Captain Maya Rodriguez watched through the Hyperion's bridge viewport as her ship approached the lunar quantum research facility. The massive vessel's quantum drives hummed beneath her feet, a sound she'd grown accustomed to over years of command. But soon, if the scientists had their way, everything about her ship would change. The facility's docking clamps engaged with a gentle shudder. Maya checked the chronometer. 41 hours remained before the unknown vessels reached Mars orbit. The weight of time pressed down on her shoulders like a physical force. "Captain Rodriguez," a voice called from behind her. Maya turned to find Dr. Elena Santos waiting at the bridge entrance, flanked by her team of scientists. The physicist's eyes were bright with barely contained energy, despite the dark circles beneath them that suggested she hadn't slept. "Dr. Santos," Maya nodded, gesturing for her to approach. "I understand you're going to turn my ship into a physics experiment." "Something like that." Elena managed a tired smile. "We've spent the last 7 hours adapting our theoretical models for ship-scale implementation, but we'll need to make significant modifications to your ship's power distribution system." Maya led Elena to the tactical display, where a holographic representation of the Hyperion rotated slowly in the air between them. "Show me." As Elena began highlighting the necessary modification points, Maya studied the scientist's face. She saw the same determination there that she recognized in her own mirror. The look of someone who understood exactly what was at stake. "The quantum field generators will need to be integrated directly into the ship's superstructure," Elena explained, her hands moving through the hologram with practiced precision. "We'll essentially be creating a bubble of controlled space-time around the entire vessel. But the power requirements," she hesitated, "are massive," Maya finished. "I've read your preliminary report. We'll need to redirect power from nearly every non-essential system, including life support redundancies." "And weapons," Elena added quietly. Maya's head snapped up. "Excuse me?" "The quantum field itself will be our weapon," Elena explained. "When properly configured, we can use it to create localized distortions in space-time. The mathematics suggest we could theoretically tear apart an enemy vessel at the quantum level." "Theoretically," Maya echoed, her voice dry. A proximity alert cut through their discussion. The main screen flickered to life, showing a live feed from Mars Defense Command. The first of the alien vessels had just breached the orbit of Deimos, Mars's outer moon. The geometric patterns on its surface writhed and shifted, seeming to fold in on themselves in ways that hurt the eyes to watch. "That's impossible," one of Elena's scientists whispered. "They're accelerating. They'll reach Mars orbit in less than 30 hours. Maya watched as more vessels emerged from the spatial tiers behind the first. Each one was unique in its impossible geometry, but all shared the same otherworldly quality that suggested they operated on principles far beyond human understanding. "Begin the modifications," Maya ordered, her voice carrying across the bridge. "All non-essential personnel are to evacuate to the facility. Dr. Santos, you'll have full access to ship systems and whatever resources you need. Elena nodded sharply and turned to her team, already beginning to delegate tasks. But Maya caught her arm before she could leave. "Doctor," she said quietly, "I need to know, what are our real chances here?" Elena met her gaze steadily. "The technology works, Captain. We've proven that. But scaling it up like this, adapting it for combat." She shook her head. "We're about to attempt something that pushes the boundaries of theoretical physics itself. If it works, we might save humanity. If it fails..." She let the sentence hang. "We'll die," Maya finished, "but we'll die trying to protect Earth. That's worth something." "There's more," Elena added, her voice dropping further. "The quantum field, it responds to consciousness, to intention. In our tests, we found that human observation and will could influence its behavior in ways we still don't fully understand. Whatever happens up there, it won't just be about the technology. It will be about us, about human consciousness interfacing with the fundamental fabric of reality itself." Maya absorbed this information, her tactical mind already considering the implications. "Then we'd better make sure we choose the right crew. I want your best people integrated with my bridge team. We'll need every advantage we can get." As Elena hurried off to begin the modifications, Maya returned to the viewport. Beyond the curve of the moon, Earth hung like a blue jewel in the void. Everything humanity had ever known, ever built, ever dreamed. It was all there, wrapped in swirls of white cloud and blue ocean. And now it all depended on whether a desperate alliance between a ship captain and a quantum physicist could somehow turn theoretical science into humanity's salvation. Engineering reports ready to begin modifications, her XO reported from behind her. Maya nodded, her reflection in the viewport steel-eyed and determined. "Then let's get started. We have a world to save." As the Hyperion systems began powering down for the modifications, the alien vessels continued their approach through the solar system. Their impossible geometries cast shadows that seemed to bend reality itself, a preview of the battle that was to come, a battle that would test not just humanity's technology, but their understanding of the very nature of existence itself. The HSS Hyperion hung in space between Mars and Earth, its hull now laced with a network of quantum field generators that gave it an almost ethereal appearance. Inside the bridge, Captain Maya Rodriguez watched as the last diagnostic readings scrolled across her display. 26 hours of non-stop modifications had transformed her ship into something that existed at the bleeding edge of theoretical physics. Quantum field generators at 98% synchronization. Dr. Elena Santos reported from her newly installed station. Dark shadows under her eyes testified to hours of sleepless work, but her voice remained steady, field stability holding at nominal levels. Maya nodded, her attention fixed on the tactical display where the alien vessels, now dubbed the Void Fleet by Earth's media, continued their inexorable approach. They had already passed Mars, leaving the red planet's orbital defense platforms in ruins, not through weapons fire, but through some kind of spatial distortion that had simply unmade the structures at a fundamental level. "All hands," Maya's voice carried through the ship's comm system. "This is the captain. In 10 minutes, we make humanity's first stand against these invaders. Everything we know about conventional warfare may be useless here. Trust your training. Trust each other, and trust in what we've built." Rodriguez out. Elena approached the command chair, her tablet displaying a complex array of quantum measurements. "Captain, there's something you need to know before we engage. The quantum field. It's not just responding to our control systems, it's responding to us, to our collective consciousness." Maya raised an eyebrow. "Explain." "The field strength increases with focused human intention. The more unified our crew's purpose, the more stable and powerful the field becomes. It's as if..." Elena struggled for words. "It's as if reality itself is responding to human will." Before Maya could respond, proximity alerts blared across the bridge. The first of the Void Fleet vessels had detected them and was altering course to intercept. "All hands to battle stations," Maya ordered, her voice calm despite the tension coiling in her stomach. Dr. Santos initialized the quantum field. Elena returned to her station, her hands moving across the controls. The view through the bridge viewport shimmered as the quantum field sprang to life around the ship. Maya felt a strange sensation, as if reality had suddenly become more flexible. The alien vessel approached, its geometrically impossible surface seeming to fold through dimensions that shouldn't exist. As it drew closer, Maya could feel a pressure in her mind, as if the very presence of the thing was an offense against normal spacetime. "They're scanning us," Tactical reported. "Energy buildup detected." "Remember," Elena called out, "the field responds to intention. Everyone needs to focus on." The alien vessel released its attack. Not energy weapons or projectiles, but a wave of distorted spacetime that threatened to unravel the very fabric of reality around the Hyperion. "Field holding," Elena shouted, her hands dancing across her controls. "But barely. The crew needs to." Maya understood suddenly what needed to be done. "All hands," she broadcast ship-wide. "Focus your thoughts on the field. Imagine it as a wall, a barrier between us and them. Make it real in your mind." The effect was immediate and stunning. The quantum field blazed with new energy, visible now as a shimmering barrier of pure possibility. The alien attack splashed against it like water on rock. "It's working," Elena breathed, staring at her readings in amazement. "The field strength has doubled. But Captain, we can't just defend. The power requirements." Maya nodded grimly. "Then let's show them what humanity can do. All hands, focus your thoughts on the field. Imagine it not just as a shield, but as a spear, a blade of pure human will." The quantum field responded, stretching out toward the alien vessel like a tendril of concentrated reality. Where it touched the alien ship's geometric surface, space itself seemed to shudder. The alien vessel reacted, its impossible angles twisting as it tried to adapt to this unexpected attack. But the Hyperion's quantum field, powered by the focused will of its human crew, continued to press forward. "We're affecting them at a quantum level," Elena reported, her voice tight with concentration. "Their spatial matrix is destabilizing. But Captain, the power drain is massive. We can't maintain this for long." Maya watched as sections of the alien vessel began to unravel, its seemingly invincible geometry coming apart under the human attack. But more Void Fleet ships were approaching, their patterns shifting in what might have been alarm or anger. "Fall back," Maya ordered as the first alien vessel finally collapsed in on itself, dissolving into quantum foam. "We've proven we can hurt them. Now we need to take what we've learned back to Earth." As the Hyperion disengaged, its quantum field humming with the collective will of its crew, Maya exchanged looks with Elena. They had achieved what should have been impossible. They had fought creatures that wielded reality itself as a weapon, and they had won. But this was just the beginning. The rest of the Void Fleet was still coming, and now they knew that humanity was not the easy prey they had expected. The real battle was yet to come, and it would test not just humanity's technology, but their unity, their will, and their understanding of the very nature of reality itself. "Send all battle data to Earth Defense Command," Maya ordered as the Hyperion accelerated away from the engagement zone. "They need to know what we've learned here. And Dr. Santos, I think it's time we had a serious discussion about how to enhance these quantum fields even further." Behind them, the remains of the destroyed alien vessel collapsed into quantum uncertainty, while ahead, Earth waited, now armed with the knowledge that humanity had found a way to fight back against the impossible. Earth's orbital shipyards had become a hive of desperate activity. In the 2 days since the Hyperion's successful engagement with the Void Fleet, every available capital ship was being fitted with quantum field generators. But Dr. Elena Santos knew that technology alone wouldn't be enough. She stood in the Hyperion's medical bay, watching through an observation window as medical staff attended to crew members suffering from what they'd begun calling quantum fatigue. The mental strain of maintaining focused consciousness during quantum field operations had taken its toll. Their brainwave patterns are changing, Dr. Marcus Chen reported, showing Elena the latest scans. It's as if their minds are beginning to operate on quantum frequencies. They're becoming more attuned to the fields, but the human brain wasn't designed for this kind of perception. Captain Maya Rodriguez entered the medical bay, her own face showing signs of strain. How bad is it? We're adapting, Elena replied, turning to face her. But there's something else, something we discovered during the analysis of the battle data. She hesitated, knowing the weight of what she was about to propose. We found a way to amplify the quantum field's power exponentially. But the cost? Maya's eyes narrowed. Tell me. We need to link the crew's consciousness directly into the quantum matrix, Elena explained. Not just their focused thoughts, but their actual minds, integrated with the ship's systems at a quantum level. It would give us unprecedented control over local spacetime. And the cost? Maya pressed. The deeper the integration, the more the human mind begins to expand. We're talking about consciousness existing across multiple quantum states simultaneously. The person you were. Elena struggled for words. They wouldn't exactly cease to exist, but they would become something else. Something more than human. The implications hung heavy in the air between them. Before either could speak, alarms blared throughout the ship. The main Void fleet had been detected passing Jupiter's orbit, days ahead of projected arrival times. Maya's comm unit chimed with an emergency transmission from Earth Defense Command. The holographic form of Admiral Sarah Chen materialized in the medical bay. Captain, Doctor, the Admiral's voice was grim. The Void fleet has split into 3 battle groups. 2 are heading for Earth. The third, she paused. The third is targeting our lunar colonies. Current estimates put civilian casualties in the millions if they breach our defenses. Elena felt her heart sink. The lunar colonies included her family. Her parents who had supported her impossible research all these years, her sister and her newborn niece. How many ships have been fitted with quantum field generators? Maya asked. 3, including the Hyperion. Not enough to engage multiple battle groups effectively. The Admiral's hologram flickered. We need a force multiplier. And we need it now. Elena stepped forward. We have one. But the price? She looked at Maya, then back to the Admiral. We found a way to amplify the quantum fields through direct neural integration. But it will change anyone who undergoes the process. Permanently. Understanding dawned in Maya's eyes. You're not talking about just enhancing the current interface. You're talking about complete integration, becoming one with the quantum field itself. Yes, Elena nodded. One consciousness, fully merged with the ship's quantum systems. The power would be unprecedented, but the person who volunteers. She left the implications unspoken. Maya straightened, her decision visible in her posture before she spoke. I'll do it. Captain, Elena protested. You don't understand. The process would be irreversible. Your consciousness would exist across multiple quantum states. You would perceive reality in ways the human mind wasn't meant to comprehend. You would still be you, but also more. Would it be enough to stop them? Maya's question cut through Elena's protests. Elena hesitated, then nodded. The mathematics suggest that a fully integrated consciousness could manipulate spacetime on a scale we've barely imagined. You could theoretically create quantum effects large enough to affect entire fleets. Then we don't have a choice, Maya said firmly. Those are my people up there on the moon. Doctor, they're all our people. If this is what it takes to protect them, to protect Earth, she squared her shoulders. How long to prepare the integration? Admiral Chen's hologram stepped forward. Captain Rodriguez, are you certain about this? Once done, there's no going back. Maya's smile was gentle but determined. Admiral, humanity is facing extinction. If my sacrifice can help prevent that, then it's not really a sacrifice at all. It's a duty. And I swore an oath to protect Earth and her people, no matter the cost. Elena felt tears pricking at her eyes, but her voice remained steady. We can begin the integration process immediately. I'll need 2 hours to calibrate the quantum matrix. Do it, Maya ordered. Then she turned to address the medical bay at large, her voice carrying the weight of command one final time. Send word to all hands. Prepare for combat operations. And someone get me a quantum mechanics textbook. If I'm going to become one with space-time itself, I should at least brush up on the theory. As Elena hurried to begin the integration preparations, she caught a glimpse of Maya standing at the medical bay window, gazing out at the Earth below. The captain's face showed no fear, only quiet determination. She was about to sacrifice her humanity to save humanity itself, and she was facing that transformation with the same courage she had shown throughout her entire career. The fate of Earth would rest not just on human technology or human ingenuity, but on the willing sacrifice of one human who would become something more, a bridge between humanity and the quantum nature of reality itself. The question that remained was whether even this sacrifice would be enough to stop the approaching storm. The being that had once been Captain Maya Rodriguez existed across multiple quantum states simultaneously. Her consciousness stretched through the Hyperion systems like starlight through crystal, perceiving reality in ways no human mind was meant to comprehend. Through the quantum field generators, she was both the ship and more than the ship, a hybrid of human consciousness and fundamental forces of the universe. Dr. Elena Santos watched the tactical display as the Hyperion moved to intercept the Void Fleet's lunar battle group. The ship's movements were unlike anything she'd ever seen. Smooth yet impossible, as if it was flowing through dimensions beyond normal space-time. "How are you feeling, Maya?" Elena asked, knowing her words would be picked up by the ship's quantum-enhanced communications. The response came not in words but in sensations, images of stellar formation and quantum probability clouds, the music of gravitational waves, and the dance of virtual particles. Then Maya's voice, somehow both familiar and otherworldly. "I understand now, Elena. I understand everything." The first wave of Void Fleet vessels appeared ahead of them, their impossible geometries twisting through space like wounds in reality. But through Maya's new perception, Elena could see what they truly were, beings of pure mathematical principle, trying to impose their version of order on a universe they saw as chaotic. "They're not evil." Maya's voice resonated through the bridge. "They're afraid. They seek to remake reality itself because they cannot accept its fundamental uncertainty. They are the ultimate expression of determinism, trying to eliminate quantum uncertainty from the universe itself." Before Elena could respond, the void vessels attacked, but where their spatial distortions had once seemed overwhelmingly powerful, they now appeared almost crude compared to the elegant quantum manipulations flowing from the Hyperion. Maya/Hyperion danced through space-time, each movement a calculated demonstration of both physics and art. The quantum fields responded to her expanded consciousness like extensions of her own body, bending reality with precision and purpose. "All hands," Elena broadcast throughout the ship. "Focus your thoughts through the quantum link. Captain Rodriguez is our anchor. Let her guide your consciousness." The crew responded, their minds connecting through the ship's quantum matrix. Elena felt it too, a sensation of expansion, of being part of something vast and beautiful. Through Maya's perception, they could all see the true nature of space-time, the elegant dance of probability and certainty that underpinned all of reality. The Void Fleet vessels reacted with what might have been confusion, their geometric patterns shifting in increasingly erratic ways. They had expected to face primitive beings bound by classical physics. Instead, they found themselves confronting an entity that understood the quantum nature of reality as well as they did, and perhaps better. "We don't need to destroy them," Maya's voice echoed through quantum space. "We need to show them another way." The Hyperion's quantum fields expanded, not as weapons but as a demonstration. Under Maya's control, they began to create patterns in space-time itself. Beautiful, complex structures that demonstrated how quantum uncertainty and classical determinism could coexist in harmony. It was a language written in the fabric of reality itself, a message that transcended ordinary communication. Through the quantum fields, Maya showed the Void Fleet the beauty of uncertainty, the power of possibility, the strength that came from accepting and working with the fundamental nature of the universe rather than trying to override it. The effect on the Void vessels was immediate and stunning. Their geometric patterns began to shift, not in aggression, but in what appeared to be recognition. One by one, they stopped their advance, their impossible shapes slowly resolving into forms that seemed to echo the harmonious patterns Maya was creating. They understand. Maya's voice carried notes of joy and sadness, humanity, and something far beyond. They see now that there is strength in uncertainty, beauty in probability. They have spent eons trying to eliminate quantum uncertainty from the universe, never realizing that it was this very uncertainty that gave rise to consciousness, to creativity, to life itself. Throughout the solar system, the other Void Fleet vessels were stopping, their patterns changing as they received the understanding from their lunar companions. Humanity's quantum technology had not won the day through destruction, but through demonstration, by showing that there was a better way to exist in a quantum universe. Elena felt tears on her cheeks as she watched the Void Fleet begin to withdraw, their geometric forms now incorporating elements of quantum uncertainty in beautiful, impossible patterns. They had come seeking to impose order, but they were leaving with a new understanding of the harmony that could exist between order and chaos. Maya, Elena whispered, "You did it. You saved us all." The response came in waves of quantum probability, carrying emotions and concepts that normal human language couldn't express. Maya had sacrificed her original form, but in doing so, she had become something new, a bridge between the classical and quantum worlds, between the human and the infinite. "I am still here." Maya's voice resonated through quantum space. "I am still human in my way. But I am also more, and through me, humanity has shown that we are ready to take our place among the cosmic powers, not through force, but through understanding, not through conquest, but through comprehension." As the last of the Void Fleet vanished into their spatial rifts, now transformed by their encounter with humanity's quantum ambassador, Elena looked out at the stars. They seemed different now, filled with new possibility. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge not through superior firepower or advanced technology alone, but through the uniquely human ability to adapt, to understand, and to show others a better way. The HSS Hyperion hung in space above the moon, its quantum fields shimmering with patterns of infinite possibility. Within its systems, the consciousness that had once been Captain Maya Rodriguez continued her eternal dance through quantum spacetime, a living bridge between humanity's past and its unlimited future. They had not just survived, they had evolved, taking the first steps into a new era of human existence. And somewhere in the quantum probability clouds that now formed part of her consciousness, Maya smiled, knowing that this was not an ending, but a beginning. Humanity's journey into the quantum reality had just begun.